M.i.S.O online television, its associates and affiliates may not be liable for views expressed on this show. Viewer discretion advised.
He says this man sleeps like a frog. Yes. Where did the problem come from? What did the Rwaboko family own previously to attack our family, to call us beggars, to call a mere man who sleeps in the Siram? This was started by Tango Doi. This man sleeps like a... Where is Tango Doi? I'm not like you. I've not stolen anything. Do you have more wealth than Chinyata? Do you have more wealth than Wasanjo? Do you have more wealth than Tata? Atata's children overcome, abusing people like you. The way you talk about us. You condemn. Can we entrust power with you with that stinking arrogance which we even smell through your buttocks?
I see.
Good. Oyufugani kwe tukuba utambi notuka yagoba kataka yagoba kati agame kwe yagoba nacho wagoba nacho we sacked this woman. Country great, let us gang up against you. In this country yours, the women under in the state house in Rwaboko tell us, the women under into state house is the state house your Kisuku home. We left the other woman we yagoba nacho nemutani pa one day will answer. Oh, Mama, what do you consider? Mama has said. Mama has now you call it again, gotta be peasantry, upbringing. You tell us before you abuse my family, have medical doctors, have lawyers, where there were, in spite of the wealth, the stinking wealth you have. Tell me, the siblings of you, the Rwabogos, where are they? Are we seeing the Rwabogos in the foreign affairs? Are we seeing the Rwabogos in the finance? Are we seeing the Rwabogos in Uganda Revenue Authority? Praise Mirundi's family. You will never rule this country. Pooh. When Uganda speaks three times, especially a man like me, who is possessed, Rwabogo, go up with them, Tolifuka Kugwangali, Gende Wamukodomi, Mukubiri Tamam, Umutonde. Rwabogo Tolifuka Kugwa. Even if you hide behind Babas is a failure. Obatu wa mukubaluli ga prime minister ateka ti envoy dulitu wa mukuba housewife ateka kati nga house kalo yo anuka waboga anuka waboga anuka cannot let him kill me but we documented all his farms, we documented all his factories, we are restrained by one thing, that he is married to Museveni's daughter. The Rwaboko family, where is it? Comes, he's a pauper who graduated from a Getman to a president. That a Getman from a Getman who was a Getman in London, that he can become president. Chirazira. Rwaboko Chirazira. I see. When I compare Rwaboko to Mugozi, what does and I've written a book, why are you voting Mugozi? But one that Jamuko to Baja Kumukwatayo, Baja Kumufatayo, Baja Kumutolayo, Baja Kumujayo, Baja Kumukoraba, Bravati, Waboko Baja Kumukwatayo, Baja Kumufatayo, Baja Kumujayo, Baja Kumukwatayo, Baja Kumukorabati, Baja Kumukorabati. Over this stinking weather is the pride they're talking about. Are you a manufacturer?
It gives him
what do you have?
Modesty.
Do you own Do you own an oil where? To talk about this wealth that you abuse my family and me, that I'm a beggar?
I see.
Our family is more wealthy. Teswina family no Suma. We don't have a Suma in our family. And if we grow up with Suma in our family, Tumutirawo. The Mirundi family has no Suma. We are brainy and do the brain. We are Kikwa people. Kikwa kabisha.
Mbalamusizaako mwena gye musinzira okubanga mulaba TMOline television yenze Kanka Kapita. Natuddeyo ddo batuusaako deezu y'ebyobufuzi endala ndi ne mutabani wa Mmole Nabat of Mirundi Joseph Tamale Mirundi Senior nebaza nnyo mwenna abakitegeera nti amagezi g'okukola business n'okufuna gali mu ggwe naye ate ag'okulanga weeyongere ku nfuna gali ku TM Online Television. Mu kiseera kino kye tugendamu ekyokuggalawo omwaka nsaba ebirango by'okulanga business osobole okwongeza ku nfunayo obiwe TMO omulimu tujja gukola bulungi. Nebazaako ensuso abawulira ekirango kye twakuba emabega ne muweereza abaana bammwe mu kampuni enzimbi ya Stone Roofing ey'aba Scout basobole okwefunira ku mirimu abalala bongere ku bukugu bwe balina mu mulimo gw'okuzimba. Nawuubyeyo olubu lw'ekigere ndabe ku baafuna emirimu n'abasanze gye bali Ntende era neebaza nnyo abaasobola okubawa emirimu n'abo abaayitamu aba Stone Roofing be baasobola okuyisaamu ne batandika okukola nabo. Stone Roofing Company y'abazimbi y'aba Scout abasinga okubeera abeesimbu bano bakukolera omulimu ogw'okuzimbira ennyumba yo ey'ekirooto kyo bagukuweera mu budde ku muwendo ogusembayo obutono ate ye kampuni ekyasiza okubeera enjiiya nga yasiimibwa buli munene gw'owulira wano mu ggwanga Uganda. Mbakubiriza nga mbalayirira bw'owa aba kampuni ya Stone Roofing and Construction Company omulimu gw'okuzimba osobola okuba ogw'okuggala ennyumba yo kubanga balina workshop emu kuzisinga okubeera modern ekola ebyuma. Ne bw'oba tewaba mulimo gwa kuzimba naye ng'otuuse ku ddaala ly'okuggala ennyumba bawa omulimu gw'okugiggala kuba ate bamala okwokya ebyuma n'obukugu ate bo bazimbi bakuteramu enzigizo nga tezikyamye. M.i.S.O tulina ekipya kye tubaleetera nebaza nnyo ababawadde emirimu gy'okwasa amayinja nebaza nnyo abawadde emirimu gy'okusima amazzi obo bonna bukugu buli mu kampuni ya Stone Roofing. Kati ate nkubuulira nti kyalibadde kirungi nnyo abasikawutu bano bakyalirako ku ofiisi yaabwe naddala gwe yabawa emirimu atali Bulaaya ojja kugenda Nansana okyamire ku ofiisi za Municipal Council onoonye we bayita ku Nansana Playground oba ku kisaawe kya Council bonaabona atera okutuuka ojja kulengera ennyumba enserese n'amayinja eyo ofiisi ya Stone Roofing and Construction Company. Mwebale nnyo abawadde emirimu mwongere okugenda mu kampuni ya Stone Roofing mubawe emirimu ate kuba bw'obawa emirimu gy'okuzimba oba toweewadde gwe wekka mukisa okutuukiriza ekirooto kyo n'abantu abatali bayaaye ku muwendo ogusinga okubeera ogwa wansi naye ate oba owadde abaana b'eggwanga lino omukisa ogw'okubaako bwe bali emirimu gya buli ennaku zino naye Stone Roofing yeegigaba. So mbasaba ng'era mbeebaza nnyo abawadde emirimu ne mbakubiriza nti mukozese abasikawutu bano abakozesa enzimba esinga okubeera ennungi balina ne bino bibayodigesta ebikuuma obutonde bw'ensi bakuzimbira nga ate bakuuma obutonde bw'ensi. So basikawutu omulimu bagukola bulungi bagukolera ku ssente entono ate bakukolera kiri kyennyini bongera n'okuwa emirimu Ssaako n'okuzimba eggwanga ye kampuni ya Stone Roofing and Construction Company. Kangende wa Muzeeyi mirundi tutandikirewo butereevu.
What is my purpose today? Olwaleero akatambi ako mukawulidde nga odwekerwa aboogo ali ne munne bajogerako. Let me analyze it. Abantu abasinga obungi tebamanyi lutalo luno we lwava. Mu gavumenti we nabeera mu State House mwalimu obujozi bungi. Sisuubira ti eriyo obulamu bwendisanga obw'obujozi obunia abantu ku mitwe n'okubanyaalako nga bwe nasanga mu State House. Teriyo fitina gye nsuubira kusanga mu nsi muno nga gye nalaba mu State House. I was thoroughly, decisively humiliated in spite of my contribution to them. Bajozi bani abaana babanabo babanya ku mitwe babanyaalako batunya ku mitwe ne batunyaalako. They think as if we meandered into State House. I was not begging into state, even if it was an advert to recruit people in the State House. I wouldn't have Museveni forced me into State House after 3 days in the Rakitura.
I see.
And I had rejected the appointment. Nalimba manyo obujozi bwabwe obunia abantu ku mitwe n'okubanyaalako ne bakunyako enkyo ne bakuyita bakubejje the second job ey'obujozi ey'amazi ey'enkali. When I joined the State House, I humbled myself. Ng'obujozi obuli muli buwunya. The only solace was the president. Batutunuliranga ng'embwa ng'ono omukolo abwo tayawula State House na makaga. I looked at this man. I saw him when he was a pauper. This man had engato y'olumwe ya Abdul. That's why I don't respect him. abanyankole baga nti akakadde akakulaba tewereekaleka mulenzi gwe twakulabako ng'oli mwavu leka kutujooga wali okola luddawa wasoma ki ayo medical doctor ayo a scientist who are you ajooga abantu ampita embwa yimuki like any other person from a getman to the president is it viable anzitalabe yakigezaako nekimulema mpeba mutte nabufambo babwasi abaganda tulina bwe tutuuka ne tugamba kati ekizigo kyakwogererako I don't mind do I need to be in the government again? Can I work in this government again? Never. Bebireka mu mpale siddamu kukolera bantu bano can I embarrassmire ke Sempija? Can I embarrassmire ke Kadaga? We call it the humiliative virus. I initiated myself from this virus. I can make my money. Kakati olutalo we luva nasanga groups bbiri. The president liked me very much. The president, my first encounter with Lwabwogo had is Lwabwogo a businessman? Lwabwogo, do you have business acumenship? Take me to court in Cook. Expose your businesses.
I see.
Lie like an envelope. Lwabwogo lie like an envelope. Many Ugandans, you abuse me, but you see, shingangu kuba mulenzi gwene kuba obutambi bana Uganda bakutirawo. Kakati president nga bagenda bajja Lwabwogo ngaleeta team mbo asoloza omusolo gwa TV. Musolo like any peasant minded man. He thinks in the ways.
Yaleta omusolo gwa TV.
I was a getty man. By the time you were a getty man, I was the son of a chief.
I see.
Toyinza kunjoga mulenzi gwenzi tolabe bakubene bufakitole bagwoche wowe wana nabo tojja kutujoga mulenzi gwe tojja kutujoga genda ojogeje wawasa joga be wawasamu nze toyinza kunjoga benet sheba kakati nga ngamba president mu meeting nti omusolo kwa TV tegukola. First of all, the people know that the company belongs to your in-law, who Lwabwogo, yavo kunchawo. But I served your government. Kwa anyakobano nanyakobano. Awetwava. Kakati spark off. Ayagala obwa president. Muri wamuye na afukulawo. We have documents. Lwabwogo should be the last person to be arrogant. You are very arrogant. You are very arrogant. But if you don't take care, fetukusabira ekintu kimu every day ngene musoze wafu njogala mulabe ko mu government etali ya sezalawo nga bamujimbi kufunga mufungwa and I will get it. When I ask my ancestors 10 things, I see 8.
I see.
Njokumulaba konga ali kobanga ali kikanga badde konga embuzi nnumi. Kakati Lwabwogo yalowooza nti ajja kufuuka president. Naye talina mpisa. Okufuuka president, you must have certain qualities. You must be appealable to the people. Lwabwogo is an arrogant man. Ataddewo awandiise ekitabo kyakuba sezaalako. Awandiise eki netumukuba tumuteeka mulayo. Mukuba ejjoogo. But he is not academically sound. Lwabwogo has never written something that is impressive. Has never participated in a debate that is impressive. I doubt even how he got that master's degree. Kakati yena antegeera. The good thing he detected me early mu State House. Kakati first lady nababuulira nembagamba kati is doing business with Mbabazi and Lwabwogo I'm going to produce your meetings with Mbabazi. Ejjoogo lyonna mulenzi gwe kati mapambano. It is mapambano now with this man. Mapambano. Anzite bamuttire wano mutabani wani. Where is Lwabwogo? Where is the father of Lwabwogo? Which family do you come from?
I see.
What are your brothers? Are they doctors, medical doctors? Are we singing Lwabogo in medicine? Are we singing Lwabogo in business? Why are you the sole Lwabogo?
What is his contribution?
But me, my family, he despises. This man struggles. Yes, I'm struggling because this man you will hear in his telling him, yours is privileged wealth. Tujako, Olifato Inana Kaji, Munnansi Olifato Inana, Oliboduse, Nakajoko Tolika Sigas. Kill me, he tried to kill me failing. Bamu ba nature bamu ba jakutambira ku mukagari kabalima. Ejuguli omulenzo nulino ku. Anzita alabe. Bampeba mbete ntali tambula tayina magulu. Ate singa nze siru kwagala Museveni. Oyo singa omulenzo oyo. Singa teyali mukodumi wa Museveni. Kyonna ali mukuzi yali kitegedde. Singa tambulye mu kagari kabalima. Kakati First Lady announces her retirement that she had left politics. Journalists came to me as usual because I was a spokesperson of the president. How come that the First Lady has decided to retire before the president? I told them the two derived their powers from different institutions. The president was elected by a delegates conference, which must renew his contract or reject it. The First Lady was called by God. Munnaga is isolated. Tayita kutujoga. Lwabogo tulifuka ku ggwanga lino. I want to tell you, Lwabogo will never rule this country. The only thing you can do is to buy a farm, erect a Ugandan flag, declare your wife as a First Lady. His arrogance stems from his buttocks.
I see.
Is this country yours?
I see.
What was your father's contribution in the liberation of Uganda, even at independence? I'm hearing the name of Lwabogo for the first time. But you go to my village, go to Masaka, go to Lakai, and ask the man called Mirundi. I come from a prominent family. Tonjoga money made. You a money made man, and how have I acquired your money to abuse me?
I see.
He sleeps in the slum. Yes. Where did Bobo Wine sleep? Who defeated you in the whole of Uganda? Was he sleeping in the Senator like you? Was he sleeping in Chiko like you? In the Kisugu? Where was Jesus born? In the Sheraton? In a hotel?
Born in a kiraro.
Okuvalwa nereze nze tusobola kumusagana muba ngenda muba kubira mu abamutya. I don't fear this man.
I see.
Because I will never go back to Museveni's government. Nja kuba ebiraka mu mpala as he says. This man struggles. Yes, I struggle because the Bible says that a person must struggle. See good. Nkusabira buli lunaku. There is no love lost between me and him. Has been fighting me, but I will defeat him. Lwabogo, I will defeat you decisively. Yagenda naga namuvumye. Anti yagenda mu red paper n'abagamba ne bakuba story. Nti State House does not miss First Lady. Olwo mpita wakuzanya kuzalamu alla mundi chamu bem malibu mu beno obugalu bindu. Mulenzi gwaliwe yali akukubye nganzi. Waliwo yali ekitegeeza. Waliwo ekikula ekyewange nkube nkumalewo ngenda kuba nkumalewo. Bano obwo obuntu bwewana nabo obujeewa. Okutwala ennyama ebweru. Okudira ennyama n'ogiteekamu okuwamba ennyanja okukola ki. We shall want to institute a commission on how you raise that wealth. Mumutira bweriri n'alumi mbona okola ki. Where is the Lwabogo family? Tell me anybody. Do we have Dr. Lwabogo? As we have Dr. Mirundi? Do we have royal advocate Lwabogo and the company advocate? As I have Mirundi and the company advocate? My elder brother works with UN. Do we have a Lwabogo who works in UN? My family beats you, hands down.
I see.
This man, akatambito kabulite, ajori guns. I did not get any of my wealth by marriage. What did you have before marrying Museveni's daughter? What do you have? Minus. But me, I have my wealth.
I see.
Todda mukunjo gwe toyina yakubapaka obujozimbu ku malimu kakati kagera gamba namuvumya. You say for me, the first lady came to me. Mwanange mirundi otukoledde nnyo tukwebaza kozi nze nali nkimanyi mu politics bwe bakwebaza ab'einaalimu any leader kasa kwebaza kiba opposite. Idi Amin bwe yakugamba nti asante sana, you run away. If you don't run away, you'll be killed. So the first lady, when the first lady came to me, called me, nanga mwanange mirundi nalimba tikiti nali ntegedde omulenzi ono yavumye nalweso nakalema gwe nakalema nkubuulira nakalema ojja kufa weeta olifa wairindi bwali badduse nakalema bwali badduse tojja kudduka nabasiba ekibowabowa nabasiba ekibowabowa bonna bajja babatire wano nakalema waabwe balitwala abeewaabwe ekalagu balijja ne banoonya nakalema bamubidde ne bamutta ne bajja otambe kuyavu. I planned for these people long time ago, 10 years ago, and I never recall. That's why, because I used terminative medicine, terminative rituals, I cannot work with these people again. Nakano katabani kakajiji n'entwe yako katta abantu mu malwali n'entwe yako olutwe lukalingala ofuya omugaati nalinja katta yuwalaka nalinja kuba kasajja gwengotte kanakalema ng'atuula wali nga kano kaleeta teepo n'entwe yako kati oyo agamba ati kadduse kalaze wako kasajja kwe ne bw'onadduka tukubanja amawoowolo g'abantu mwenda n'entwe yako oyina okusasula abantu bemwatta kati kadduka kalaga wa muhoozi kadduka. No, you will answer. What if Muhoozi does not take a power? What if Muhoozi takes power and we demand that these people, those who have committed, must carry their crosses? You will answer. One day to Mwebas and others who are involved in the killing of Ugandans in hospitals will answer.
I see.
Mujja kusasula n'entwe yako because you were recorded. Never recording nga wonna ne video tujja kulabako nga bakuba the best way. Buy an island. Muduke mugende Zimbabwe. Duka n'entwe eyo nga tebalina ttaka giki. Kakati obwo obusajja nga president yampita bwakubatte. The president said, Mirundi, we sat with the president. Mirundi, you abused my wife. Said, how? Because Museveni is friendly and he really liked me. He really liked me. He gave an order, said, Nalweso, make sure that you give Mirundi unfettered access to me because Mirundi gets information which you people don't have. Museveni had some money to M.i.S.O. When you listen to their tape, I defeated their attributes, the defeat of Mbabas, who is coming back after an agreement with the Oyomana Yamudesi, Bakubira Akatambi, Gambabas aline Lwabogo, Gateba Kuba Muhoozi. Benko Malewo Chakwagala coach. Need the Lwabogo, what do I need from you? Need to conquer Eranja Bautaming, Beverly Wamuna, Lwabogo Babaludo, Yekayangidde mu home. No Ben Mufurumi ties. Lwabogo is no longer a factor. Lwabogo is no longer a factor in your succession, but Anuka. Lwabogo Anuka. Lwabogo Anuka cannot let him kill me. We documented all his farms. We documented all his factories. We are restrained by one thing, that he is married to Museveni's daughter. The Lwabogo family, where is it? Comes, is a pauper who graduated from a Getman to a president. That a Getman from a Getman who was a Getman in London, that he can become president. Chirazira. Lwabogo Chirazira. I see. When I compare Lwabogo to Muhoozi, What does, and I've written a book, Why I Revolt Muhozi. I've written a book. If the two come, yes, if the issue remains between Muhozi and Rwabogo, I've written a book, Why I Should Vote Muhozi. And in Uganda it's translated, Ngenda ne Muhozi. Kentegerono, ava mu family njafu, family yeta ine kyali yakoledde eggwanga lino. Where is Rwabogo? Where is Rwabogo? You tell me the sibling. Tell me the siblings of the Rwabogo family.
I see.
Yes, where does he come from? We only know Rwabogo, for us who know him, as a man who was a gateman in London. From gateman to president.
I see.
This is why Kenyans don't want Ruto. He was selling chicken at the about to tayo mulenzi kwe twakwe ateyo omuntu obo fakito tukumeka omuli mulunako omulabe wadduka bwali balemeddewa kakati oyo omwana President Angamba, I sat with him 7. We wrote an apology to the First Lady. I remember President asking me, what is your particular title? Museveni asked me, Nemugamba, I'm the press secretary and the spokesperson of you. Museveni, but he wrote, we sat down and wrote an apology. At that time, I remember it was a Wednesday. Museveni came back from inspecting in Namugongo. We met. Ekintu kyafunga tekyafu. Namugongo waboga nerega alowooza mbu ndi ngwenyi nkubye nkakutera okampulira Lwabogo nkakutera okampulira nkakutera okampulira wakatera mandwa nti oginese akayo kali bakalijo Lwabogo kubye nkwanisa obulu tayo omuntu eyalogansi yo. There is no Ugandan who can entrust their leadership to an arrogant man like him. You listen what he's talking about, what he says, what he vomits from his mouth, sticks like a binyampo.
I see.
You hear the arrogance, the type of arrogance this man is using. I'm a very rich man. You telling me the basis whether your father was a rich man. Mao at one time asked, Mukwano makes soap, Mulwana makes batteries. What did your father make? Was he involved in the meat factory? Accountability. Uganda. He owes money to Uganda. Government in Dara as a slave. He will pay. Wabogo will pay. Wabogo will pay. He must lie like Wabogo in the succession battle. He must lie like an envelope. You hear? Haven't you heard him? Nkubolidde nina obuteepu yeyamuteekamu n'abakuba abantu mu special forces nga bali ne kandiko omulenzi ono mukube mwabye Lwabogo buchonio kwolo wekwe kunze wekwekweya kumululu kumunyango wekwekweya kamyu. You are fighting a man you cannot defeat. I'm not killable.
I see.
Tujja kulaba ko fetumusaba Katonda kabangali tumulabeko ngekalubindi bazina. Kakati this man is arrogant. We sat with the president and wrote an apology. Museveni nambuuza nga tekifulumire mugamba tekifulumire Lwabogo yekiganya okufuluma mukoddomiwo Lwabogo fighting me 8 years ago. Mukbe nkakutera okampulira nkakutera Lwabogo nkakutera okampulira nkakutera nkakubinga Lwabogo nkamubinga Lwabogo nkamutera kamutera amanyindo kamutera amamwa kamutera amanyindo kamutera amatansi kamubinga. I've defeated him. The moment he has turned against his father-in-law, President agamba nti omusajja muwe sente n'agaana kati agenze n'ambabazi alina babeesije. You see, this young man He has exaggerated intelligence. Museveni cannot give power to Mbabas. Museveni cannot give powers to Besigye. Why Besigye has personal vendetta against Museveni? Is malicious. Museveni cannot hand over power to Mbabas. When Museveni sent his wife to Prime Minister's office, Mbabas humiliated her. Nibamuwandikako namuwandikako mbo muwanga azudde mbo ayina omutuko mulinga ngomo yo muwanga soma yo disageno. The first lady went to Israel 7 times. Now this ingalabi yamuwanga inukanga amasi. Muwanga ingalabi yo inukanga amasi. Umutwe nigurukanga amasi. How can you say you did not study geography? That a man, that the first lady for 7 years he revisited, she visited. Nga first lady alese ekikato. Chokola babaganda amasekerera. Tibakafunza kibamutadde. Ye Kazinda ali mukomera. Omuyikirwa bamutadde. Bakafunza ki? Yes.
Kabafunza ki n'erinnya lye. Ye mute. Yawaddeyo ka fine simami.
Anti kankuboli.
Yo Muganda.
I support bakafunza ki. Why? Did these people, when they are arrested, their tribes petitioned the president? It's only in Uganda where these people don't petition the Onoji. Akasajja nikakuba abaganda nikama malamu government kanu akave sironko kawakoli nekaita kabushenga akasajja kesironko akasajja kagisu ke kawakoli kakuba abaganda nikama malamu nenga kalinona chimemeya kaline chimemeya
yani
kakati kankubuli. If I was not a smart guy, that man of part of Africa was going to also to arrest me. Asians, these Asians, the Chinese, the Indians, especially those who have not grown up here, like the Sudiros, like the Mukwanos, these who come from outside Uganda, the Asians, they have a low opinion about women. In India, when a younger man wants to get wealth, he kills brides. Why? It's the responsibility of the family of a woman to bring wealth. So if the man wants to get wealth, he kills as many wives as possible to acquire wealth. When you go to Malaysia, in Malaysia, all of the police women must be virgins. What about men? So they have an opinion about women. When you go to China, if you marry a beautiful woman, it's a sign of misfortune. It is only their president now who has been declared life president who has a beautiful woman. But it is a taboo in China to marry a beautiful woman. So when they come with this mentality about women, they use our girls. First of all, the Chinese and Asians pay low salaries. Because we don't have trade unions and they are international manipulators. They are corrupt, sticking the corrupt. I cannot take my daughter to a hotel.
They are our big friends here.
Kakati, oyo mwana, we have numerous cases about sex abuse, molestation by these Asians and the Chinese because of the background I've enumerated above. And they are weak. They have a weak libido. Bunafu.
I see.
Buku ate $10 ne bwebaka ku mukazi omubusajja 10. Tebuyinake buyina bulindwa nkoko. Because of maybe because of the food they eat, because of what. Kakati bwe bujja mu Uganda busanga nti restriction is like Arabs. An Arab boy where we have sex. An Arab boy cannot have sex until he is married.
I see.
When you go to Arab countries and you find a younger man, a boy, escorting a younger girl, they are not romancing. He's a sister.
I see.
Once, if the sister marries, when she's not a virgin, he's the responsible person. And it means the yakuma. Kati, amutta mwanyina. omulenzi atta mwannyina baleeta dokita if she is married and she found not to be a doctor or a virgin, they bring a medical doctor. Did she climb a mountain? Did she climb a tree? Even swimming, even a come back. Tolaba abakazi bwe besika bwe bati ngali abazungu abo nga bali kukama bwe bati ku horse and horse eriwete n'olugongo bweruti they ejaculate.
I see.
Women when they are riding horses, especially those who are not married, they ejaculate kubanga olugongo lw'endogo luli bweruti kati ye buli kaseera abeera ali ku lugongo bwati bwasika bwagira bwati kakati when an Arab woman, if you go to these Arab countries, the only woman you can elope with is a widow. But a non-widow must maintain virginity.
I see.
Kati obusajja obwo bwe bujja wano bujooga abaana baffe. Those stories of alleged sex abuse are not only in the part of Africa. Kaakati bwekyo balina kiri bwe kiti. Part of Africa, I fought for it. And this man knows me. Yes. But I warned one of our staff in the State House called Mbaine. Baine was the man in charge of getting us visas. When Baine married and he hosted, and these people hosted his wedding, Baine was sacked. Do you know how he was sacked?
No.
They said they brought passports, including who?
Passports of foreigners?
It's a State House. Because the president because apart from this one who was a peasant background, who was a gate man.
Are you talking about
Kalugiri? So they got Kalugiri's passport, alleging that it was going outside. And Kalugiri's passport was the only one that disappeared. This man was dismissed. He is there because of the intervention of Museveni. Because Museveni, none of us who worked in the State House have a problem with Muhozi and Museveni. I did not get a case, a person complaining about Muhozi. Oh no, Mama, what do you consider? Mama has said, Mama has, now you call it again, peasantry upbringing. You tell us before you abuse my family, have medical doctors, have lawyers, where there were, in spite of the wealth, the stinking wealth you have. Tell me, the siblings of you, the Rwabogos, where are they? Are we seeing the Rwabogos in the foreign affairs? Are we seeing the Rwabogos in the finance? Are we seeing the Rwabogos in Uganda Revenue Authority? Praise me, Rundi's family.
I see.
I'm not easy to move. I'm not humiliated. Even when they distributed my land, let me tell you, Mr. Wabogo, to understand the family I come from. Even when land was distributed in Uganda, my grandfather benefited from Makanana. We are I'm a chief in my village. I own land. I own the whole village. The Mirundi village, the Sembuya village holds the whole land. Where is your land? Mr. Wabogo, what do you own? What do you own? What did you own? What did the Wabogo family own previously to attack our family, to call us beggars, to call me a man who sleeps in the Sirams? This was started by Tango Doi. This man sleeps like a, where is Tango Doi? I'm not like you. I've not stolen anything. But one to Jamuko, to Baja Kumukwatayo, Baja Kumufatayo, Baja Kumutolayo, Baja Kumujayo, Baja Kumukoraba, Bwabati, Bwaboko, Baja Kumukwatayo, Baja Kumufatayo, Baja Kumujayo, Baja Kumukwatayo, Baja Kumukorabati, Baja Kumukorabati. Over this stinking weddings is the pride they're talking about. Are you a manufacturer?
It gives him
what do you have?
Modesty.
Do you own it? Do you own an oil? An oil where? To talk about this words that you abuse my family and me, that I'm a beggar?
I see.
Our family is more where I say. Teswina be family, no Busuma. We don't have a Busuma in our family. And if we grow up with Musuma in our family, Tumutirawu, the Mirundi family has no Busuma. We are brainy. endowed with the brain. We are Kikwa people. Kikwa kabisha. How many people have stood up against you to deflate you? Have deflated you, decisively deflated you, in spite of the immense, the stinking wealth you have. If you abuse the people, do you have more wealth than Kenyatta? Do you have more wealth than Obasanjo? Do you have more wealth than Tata? Tata's children overcome abusing people like you, the way you talk about us. But I will not argue with you.
Did you have the same like Mobutu?
You will never rule this country. Pooh, pooh, pooh. When I'm going to speak to times, especially a man like me, who is possessed, who are walk, go up with them, Tolifuka kugwangalina. Gende wa mukodomi omukubire tamam umwitonde. Waboko tolifuka kugwa. Even if you hide behind Mbabas. Mbabas is a failure. Obatu wa mukubaluli ka prime minister ateka ti envoy. Luitu wa mukuba housewife. Ateka kati nga house kalo. Mbamulesa. We defeated Mbabas. When he was a housewife, we shall abaganda baganti ekyo kusereza ligenda mugga. We shall hit Mbabas like you. You are riding with Mbabas. You for 10 rabbits compete against a Frisian cow. Do you produce more milk? You for 10 poppers connive against a one man, a rich man, like a arm. Do you believe you can take a building from you?
No.
But no, with our support. Me have declared the battle in Zakaria. In the Kumuhozi. You need to be arrested. This man needs to be Munnansi kwe 20 za kujoza musimu lwaboko issue of 3 votes ate bwa abakazi mama we n'obulala bubiri lwaboko cannot win anywhere. Whenever he wrote a book, people, the Uganda bookshop told him to remove them for covering their space. Where are they? Even cosmetics, you have stinking words. Even cosmetics help beautiful ladies.
I see.
Ugandan is in the diaspora. Ugandan is whoever is deceiving you, that you can use your stinking words. The question is, where have you got it? Tell us who was rich in the Rwabogo family. You tell us. Tell us how much wealth did you have before marrying Museveni.
Oh, yes,
and he's a very arrogant man. I usually record him. He does not respect Museveni's family. Even laughs at him. Now that I've given the population the way you think about me, I've defeated you for 8 years. Somebody was explaining during my young.
Don't you fear being killed?
Kuchi, he tried. And she said, Bamuteri, Bufamu Bubona, Bufactory Bubona to Wina Kuma. When you could do cover in Zimbabwe, the best Museveni can do to this man is to buy a farm in Zimbabwe. Let him buy an island. Let him declare one of his farmers, Uganda, erect a flag and declare his wife, first lady, and declare himself the president of that farm.
I see.
Buabogo will never rule this country.
But no
population. If he abuses me as a pauper, when I have wealth, he says, this man sleeps like a fologo. Yes. Where did the population come from? Do you have?
From the ghetto.
This young man is explaining to him that Mirundi is popular. Even if you distribute your money to everybody, you cannot win. He's a hated man. Luabogo is the most hated member of the Museveni family, and he's an import. Do people hate Saleh? No. Do people hate Museveni's brothers? No. Do people hate M.i.S.O? No.
You never know.
They hate. Do people hate Karukire? No. Do people hate other Museveni's in-laws? No. They hate this one because his was not a marriage. He wanted to get to marry Museveni's daughter as a springboard to get wealth and get the power. Ayima kati rubura rwabo. Ayima kati rubuga. Lw'Abwogo will never be president of this country, even if he kills me.
I see.
So therefore, I'm telling you that I was annoyed when I heard this man talking about me as if I'm a pauper. Look at me. He's a man who sleeps in here. I have wealth. Your wealth is a question of accountability.
I see.
For the new regime will deal with you. In fact, does Uhuru Kenyatta, who has more wealth than you, abuse people? Does he abuse everybody?
No.
You are comparable to let me tell you. You are comparable to Saddam's in-laws. You, in fact, you spoil, you undermine. That's why these people, the Kalugites have taken a distance from him. He stinks. Arrogance.
I see.
Whenever he produces the air, you feel the bourgeoisie and arrogance. Who is your father? Wabo, write a book about your father and your ancestry. And I write mine. My father participated in the Second World War. My grandfather is one of the 1,000 chiefs who benefited in the Maira Kanana. I'm a land owner. Have more land than you. I have never been a watchman like you. Wabogo, you were a watchman in London. You should not abuse anybody. You should be the last one to abuse anybody. Did you have a first class degree? Wabogo. I doubt whether he has a second part. You don't, apart from my arrogance, what do you offer?
Second class lower.
Apart from milk that you have stolen from people, Lotto, milk, what else do you have? What else do you have? I've sold more copies of my books than you. Your book was deliberately removed from the shelves of Uganda bookshop because there were no buyers. Do you find any copies of my book in Luaboko? Lie like an envelope. Don't provoke Ugandans. You a hated man. Luaboko, you a hated man. Let me tell you frankly, you a hated man. Because Museveni is a man, he wants to put order. Where do you find a man married? How many times Luaboko have you been under house arrest? He's in the country. He's currently under house arrest. How would you expect to get the support of your father-in-law if you defy him? You have defied him several times. Luaboko. One time you were detained in your home at Kisuku. And you got a rescue team. Museveni rearrested you and put you in Serena. As I speak now, you are under, unless you produce my money, unless the president has directed, unless you produce my money, you will be under house arrest. Do you see visas? No. Apart from Matanta. You talk to those who don't know you. Me, I know you. And he says that this young girl, we removed the other woman. Yes, you removed the natural. No, Kati abantu bakuwulidde. We removed. With who? In this country yours? Did women under in the state house to Luaboko? Luaboko tell us. Did women under into state house? Is the state house your Kisuku home? We left the other woman. Muja goba nacho. Nemutani pa. One day you will answer. One day you will answer. One day Luaboko you will answer. The best way you should do. Kato yomuwala. Gwagamba nti tomulidde nti Museveni yamuwa ssente azimbe mbu yamutwalireyo butambi tewali amala biseera kutwala butambi wa Museveni. How have captured you since for 3 years? You are like a woman who is raped everywhere. Stop moving with the knickers. Nokati kutte nenchanja kukwata yaleta jacket mu deterrent nebamuba naleta motoka bayise nebamuba bawuli lunaku katotambula nanika totagwana kati nkubawuli wamuwonna kati nkubye faino Luaboko mubye faino talifuga ku gwanga lino leka muhozi. You are lucky. kankubulire
was ye viable candidate
wakuba mbwalese embakazi alesani. Let me tell you, there are two factors.
We have
Let me wind up
with the front
with the two factors. Museveni is in charge of this country. Museveni is remaining with the 5 years. Museveni has provoked the Rwabogos to antagonize him. This is why he has the capacity to lock him inside his house. He's under house arrest. Anamemengwa kwa nini? Yuko ndani. Rwabogo namemenga kwa nini? When if your father-in-law can lock you inside your house, can we entrust power with you with that stinking arrogance which we even smell through your buttocks?
I see.
Good. Oyufugani gwe tukuba utambi notuka yagoba kati agame gwe yagoba nacho we sacked this woman kati gwe let us gang up against you mukozi yakwangu deda echoko kyemba kama ku Museveni Museveni has seen how leaders go. Yes, the last one, the Mugabes, the other. Museveni cannot hand over power to Mbabas. All a group linked to Mbabas. Mbabas is on Cheyo. Mbabas has been brought by Rwaboko that they can bargain. I will expose Mbabas. Mbabas, I captured Mbabas when he was talking to Mwebas. I've captured the recordings with Mbabas talking to this man. Mbabas are very. Mbabas eyafune 0, but the Bakiga should come back at the Bakiga. The Bakiga, their time is over.
I see.
Mbabas are going to Njakara Musajoya in Girako Mubutari to Mukbe. The engine of message was winning Yanyama. The moment you see women detect the alley, the moment you saw winning Yanyama going abroad, going the area food. Come on, Sajo Griff. Buri mudala mu wino kuberemu enkoni buri working press yo neberemu enkoni to be to subject into chokbe echo Rwaboko ya kirezi na security kakati kubuli echo kusa Museveni has 5 years has provoked these people into battle. Museveni can afford to fight with you. Why? The army is in a stable state. Even Muhozi can decide to resign. I will tell you. You receive was retiring from the army. The army is now a professional army.
Yes.
Yes, has trained Mogozi, defeated Kony, has trained the army from moving here to there. Special forces, you don't know.
But
know the special forces. All of the commanders now, because commanding units, originate all of the commanders we have now. Went through Mogozi's hands. Comparable was to a man called Babangida. Babangida was in Chimaka. All of government, he allowed the officers to overthrow Nigerian government. But Babangida at one time, when somebody wanted to overthrow the government, Babangida went to Radio Nigeria, Radio Lagos, and chased the soldiers away.
I see.
There is a student to teacher relationship.
Yes.
There is also a link, a strong link between a prisoner and an ex-prisoner, those who have served in Ruzira. If you want to know that this person was in Ruzira, they greet the prison wardens while kneeling. Teach away a teacher.
Yes.
Nsibambi helped to save to Mukundezi life when Tiyefonza was pulling a bazooka. Because I taught them at the university. All of these people, the commanders you see in Uganda, commanding a different units of the army, have gone through Muhoozi's hands as commander of the special forces. I don't need to enumerate.
Yes.
2, Museveni has retired senior army officers. This is going to also to happen in the government. All of the people are going to retire. This is why the residues, those who have refused to go on their own, like the Katagas, like the Sempijas, are finding problems. This retirement process to give way to the younger generation is the one that is dropping you. When you go to security, Kaka comes up to implicate. Same way, most of the murders, according to Kaka, were committed by same way agents. You read my book, Vomits of a Spy Master. In fact, yesterday I talked to a man. Do you remember the bunker van that was ambushed and the soldier was killed? The man who was involved talked to me via Zoom. I told him, I don't want to meet you because the Kandiko can arrest me and fabricate a case against me. Didn't you hear the people who were planning to kill Katumba Amala? All of these people, where do I get these tapes? Yes, I have sophisticated machines, but at the same time, I'm punctuated by people, the survivors.
Yes.
This is a problem in security. That security is carrying out preemptive murders and preemptive arrests. That a man was dealing with security cameras, a policeman, is found dead.
Yes.
And Ochola says we are investigating the death of this man. When it was come,
He
the family
trust the
postmortem report. This is, I think, Ochola is being accused by some people. They want him to be sacrificed. But Ochola is also telling them, I know. The problem with those policemen, like Ochola, Ochola was a UPC man at the university. I saw Ochola in his youth. Ochola, when you were dealing with Ochola, is a UPC Kakongoliro.
I thought he's far way older than you.
I'm telling you.
How did you see?
No.
You're younger than Ochola.
I'm telling you, I saw Ochola in Makerere University.
I see.
Ochola was a UPC youth winger. So Ochola, the type of Ocholas, they get information and they hide it. Now, it seems these people are fighting Ochola. And this man is dead. He's going to embarrass his family. Once you see order from family members of a man who has died mysteriously, the family is involved. And there is a struggle. Whenever this man is named, this appears in the newspapers, there is a person who comes back, which tells you we are in a political and security crisis. This is why this man was a master wearers primitively. Call it arrivalism. Mundebe, Nina factory, Nina chi. Is it a factory for nuclear? Is it a factory for technology? Is it a factory for what? I'm a factory because I produce milk. I produce milk. I produce what? Don't you feel ashamed? I was talking to my son yesterday. I say, I'm happy that we are having family transformation. I was a newspaper vendor. I've written books. I own a printing press. Curtis of Museveni. You are doctors. You are lawyers. You are agriculturists. You are psychologists. It means they are better than me. But if your father was a milk vendor and your brain sticks in milk, then there is no family transformation. My friend, don't tell us about factories. Which factories? Manufacturing tires, manufacturing what? Milk products. Milk. Like your grandfather was herding cows. You know, your brain is also stuck in cows.
I want to ask you.
Then you have a problem.
I want to end with this. What would prompt Ochola to reinvestigate the death of a colleague?
What would prompt Kaka to come up and reveal the killers of the other people?
The ex-security
because there is a crisis. The killers have realized that there is a likelihood of a change in the government. So, if there is a change in the government, what does it mean? Conceal the evidence. I gave you a good example of Nicholas Biwott in Kenya. Nicholas Biwott, the total man, was married to a Jew woman, and usually was believed to have owned a suite in Jerusalem. An aide of mine for a long time, even before he came vice president. When Yoko was killed, assassinated, there were riots throughout Kenya, especially university students. Because, like me, Yoko was not a thief. When they went to visit America, We took a large delegation of ministers, and the Bush told him, who's a senior, that I will not meet you unless you give me your retirement plans. The same he did to Obasanjo. When I saw congratulations of coming from different corners of leaders, I have a belief that Museveni has convinced these people that he's retiring. Yes. When you see Biden congratulating Museveni, it means, you see, the Americans can tell you, you tell us when you retire, give us your retirement plans. So me, you know that Museveni is now embarking on his last journey. Polen is a kill while taking off and descending. Museveni is descending. This is why I tell these people that if Museveni can arrest Kapa, he is warning a big fish that if I can tap Mukeni and be tough on Mukeni, I'll be more tougher on importer. Order will prevail in the parliament. Kakati Nkuburi and Gam. Dear Nicholas, what chair cola. When he knew if I was to Mwebaze, Mwenda, he says, Mwenda has a close to, yes, Mwenda is related. Mwenda was a thief, was a conman who used to get money from this man, who was did not have money like this man, who says he has a person who can, is it not another, is not destroyed. A person who came from stinking in a poor family to have all this wealth. Did you get it from God? Was it a miracle from God? Even if your wife has a church, did you pray to God to give you this? It's questionable.
I see.
This stinking wealth is questionable. One day you answer for it. You make accountability. Before you attack me, was developing myself gradually. For you, you have a question mark even in heaven. You will have to account at one time in our history. You have to account. Hiyo pesa yote we mtoto we mtiagiri pesa yote hiyo wewe ulipata wapi? So if I was in Rwabogo's case and others who have amassed wealth, Nicholas Biwott is a good example. After implicating him, he would sue the newspapers and then get reprisals, awards. But he would not get the awards because the other thing would be originating from.
Fabricated.
Yes. Kakati Nicholas Biwott abatawuko bage government egenda okukyuka ngo nabafu ng'emisango yonna egisinga ddamu kooti nga bwegiddamu ate bakuwaabira kyobola ba finally kambabuulire nti Kaliisa is a very dangerous man. Kaliisa alina influence mu UCC. Obwo obwana bwolaba obwo bwali badde tebabutwala kubusiba nga Kaliisa waali. When Kaliisa was exploiting me, my program was being sponsored by the president, but I kept it to myself. Kaliisa didn't. One day antwala mugundi nagulira suit isatu. I was going to. I knew how much money was getting from me. I knew that he got 600 million from Tumweba's. She was playing them around me, using me to get money. But me, I knew when I would strike.
I see.
Kubanga and I knew until you bagala. Yali afuna million 5 kuva mu government, but she was posing as an independent. Nali mumanyi bagala nagenda kulala ye. Bagala didn't know me. Nina ne muogerera. But bagala didn't know nti nali mayije just ngakuba Nabakoba was being hit by friendly fire. Mu government nankabiru ngakubakamya naleta ne mwanyina abeerala disuri baka nankabira bakutera ngakubye ebipande bye right honorable prime minister tewakifuna matama kukolinga ajami nankabirwa kati yatutte sente zonna ezaleya leya ngenda bakubirake wetunajja ngenda bakubira ono omukazi ali ekalamu gy'omukisu sente zeyabba ngenda mukuba akatambi ng'ayogera bakube kubanja akalamu bagoba emisinde ekiseera kituuse buli gwe twogerako nga tukwata enkoni ngadduka buli mubbi ngadduka kakana akasajja k'omu Kampala abasajja b'omu Kampala pulezidenti agambye nti amataala ga bwereere bagenda kulangako mu biliyoni executive biliyoni nedde muzijjayo kase tulabanga mugule enkoni tugenda ba akasajja kafididi simanyi kyafakirinaki simanyi kyafakirinaki kali kamantaalira ku motoka zaffe bajja kukuba gogo olw'olugongo ono omukazi bamwadde ennaku nyaava emuwe bwalemeremu nga tuleeta enkoni nga tuleeta enkoni wakwata paati zibwazikuba abasajja wakwata paati zibwazikuba Museveni wants law and order in Kampala bano baagala kuba Besigye akomyewo Besigye tugenda mukuba ku luno ajja kuwulira Besigye ku luno Besigye olina ekyo kuwija onastanse bugundi oyo nakabina ka sipika mulema yakamba mbuyasoma amateeka we are you working nze bannanga okubeera nga feri yanga where is Chambers kaka Besigye kokobe nti Bobi Wine ajja kujja awagire Besigye Bobi Wine yakola olubuto ne luyingira yes ayina ekibiina kye bamuleetera sente kati Besigye ne Sijjembe yuno tugenda kuba Besigye n'embabazi n'oyo balwabuuko ije lwabuuko team pressurize Museveni ngenda bakuba obutambi mujja kudduka nti obumyu 10 bwegatte businza Fresian Kawamata bonamba ati bagambo bagende wa Museveni ebyuma binjiyeko sibyasa abimanyi gye biri he only gave me money if he gave me money but he doesn't know how I manage this he doesn't even know where they are a big boy ati njamukuba that Lwabuuko my advice to Mr. Lwabuuko if you are so well like this learn from the Tatars children keep your awareness engage in the production but the moment you try to protect your awareness which you have got through dubious means and you incite the population you incite people like me mu nyumba yetu mujja kuba mu kajiiko Lwabuuko tolisikaza kajiiko helicopter yeri kudusa kwate helicopter ebeere ebuziga ne abantu bakwepikira bamwepikira ate waliwo aba uniform eyakiraga bo baga nti mirundi waki ajjano ne bali kubamu bamubeba soko omutwe Lwabuuko I can bet Lwabuuko never rule this country Lwabuuko you never rule this country an important man can produce a baby from a fertile woman but Lwabuuko you never rule Uganda I bet my man I bet
temsola reconciling
never reconciling and is a hated man nalyo kaniga kalubinduze nalyo kanya ku bantu nalyo kabanyalako until he landed to me amwe musambwa the musambwa is hitting him and I warn him if Lwabuuko tries to harm me he remove the wheelchair bajja kumuba atamulye mu kagaali kabalemu tugenda nti gundi